we thought that it's always good to have at least one satsang dedicated to this subject of letting go of the past and how can we put our will in a new positive direction for our own personal fulfillment. So today, that's what we're going to do with Prem, Inder, Naveen and myself. We're going to talk about the past, present and future, so to speak. And it should be a fun time together, and we'll of course make you also write a little bit of something. So if you are online, do get some pen and paper as well to write some points, but also to later on we'll have a little exercise for all of us to take in this new year and offer to the Master.
Today is the last Sunday Satsang of the year 2024. Year is ending. While the year ends, we look forward for new things and we also look back what has happened. So today's topic is, which I shall be talking, letting go of the past. What does that mean? Does letting go means forgetting the past? Are these two terms similar? No, not. Although they represent the same thing, they relate to the past, but they are entirely different. Forgetting means deleting the whole event, the old data from your mind. But letting go means you will go to the past, you will acknowledge the event, analyze the data, what has happened, what was wrong, and then will try to improve upon your weaknesses. This is letting go. So whenever we say letting go, it is not that we are forgetting the things. Rather, we are analyzing the things and we try to become better by overcoming those weaknesses. Roman god Janus, he is depicted with two faces, one face forward and one backward. So today is an opportunity to look forward as well as to look backward. What we all normally do when New Year starts coming to an end and the next year starts, we make commitments with ourselves, so many promises, small promises and some big targets also. And this is with everyone. From 1st of January, I will start going for morning walk. Or I will do exercise at home. And we are on this meditation path. Oh, my meditation is not regular. So from 1st January onwards, I make it a point that I will do meditation regularly. Right? So we make commitments to ourselves. And at the end, and sometimes during mid of the year, we see, oh, I committed to myself, but I could not do that thing. Of course, some commitments you are able to do successfully, but still some commitments, some promises remain. So this is the time to see those commitments again and see why it was not happening. If I commit to myself that I will do my regular exercises or I will do my meditation, why it is not happening? Is it because I am very busy in the evenings, I am socializing? Or I am taking that much diet which creates an obstacle to my meditation? Or what other things are there? Try to look into those aspects, right? But at the same time, you must not feel guilt or you know, should not play a game of self-blaming, because that thing will not going to help you. Rather, you have to take a lesson from this. You have to become a better person, right? And how that can be done, I will come to that point later on. But sometimes what happens that we say, oh, I cannot do this thing because my past karmas are like that. They are so strong. Master has replied in a beautiful way. Whatever you are today, it is due to your past karmas. No destiny is pre-written. It is only your past karmas which make you whatever you are today, 75%. But you should be happy. Still 25% is with you. You have been given free will. Exercise that will wholeheartedly, so that you could change those karmas. You could make a change in your personality. Right? So never say that my karmas are bad, my destiny is pre-written. It's not good. Because even Swami Yukteswar ji said that the past lives of all the great people is full of sham. We have to make efforts. We can do it good, right? And how can we do that? And this even holds good even in personal relations. Sometimes we make commitments with ourselves. From now onwards, I will not anger with anyone, or I will not revengefully treat the other person. But after some time we take the plea, oh, it was his fault. How can I remain silent? No. I didn't do anything. It was entirely his fault. And we do not want to come in terms with that person. Why? This is rather more difficult. To go in for walk, to do the meditation is still simple, because here your ego plays the role. Your ego says, don't do this thing. How can you compromise with that person? But if you start refusing to listen to your ego and will start listening to your intuition or your intuitive wisdom, then this problem can be easily washed out. And how your intuition can be developed, Master has given you the beautiful path, the beautiful teaching, the beautiful wisdom. Meditate. Do your kriyas daily, willfully, devotedly, and you will have all your life beautiful, and you will get freedom. So let us not forget the past. Of course, we can forget the past which is full of sorrows or grief, which is creating a hindrance to our further success. That can be forgotten. Otherwise, you have to analyze the past, make improvement over our weaknesses, and become a better person. Thank you so much. I wish all of you a very good year ahead, and may Master's blessings, abundant blessings, be upon all of us. Thank you.
So, I have to talk about the present. He has beautifully explained the past. And actually, if you realize, the only thing that is a reality is present. Past is memories which you cannot change. Can any one of us change the past? So let's get that clear. About the future, we do not know what is going to happen. So what the masters told, the only reality of every one of us is this moment only. And like Sri Yukteswar said, if you make the right effort now, the future will be better. Like he was covering, he said that The past of everyone, including saints, is filled with sins. But if you make the right, sincere spiritual effort now, the future will be better and will be taken care of. So therefore, let's not put too much effort into past and to planning for future. If you are making the right effort now, everything will fall into place. And in fact, Master went on to say that the memory was given to man to only overcome certain physical harmful effects that are going to happen in that life of that human being. If we, and which most of us do, use this memory to remember wrong things that have happened to us, it is a misuse of this memory. Remember this, how God meant it to be. He meant only one thing, that God is, that the reality is now. Memory was given, like as a child, when you were growing up or you're seeing your children grow up, the child touches, you tell the child, don't touch this electric point, don't touch this electric point. What does the child do? Keeps on going after that. And the moment it first time touches and gets that shock, he's understood. Now not, I will not use it. The memory was given for only this. But what do we use the memory for? This person said something wrong to me, this person is evil. This person said something very nice to me, he is a saint. And we have done misused. The reality is, at that particular time, if this person was going through something, had said something which was not intentional, but I have blemished, I have put a screen in front of me, and now I am seeing through that screen and deciding that anything coming out of this person is going to be bad and anything coming out of this person is going to be good. See how foolish we become. And so the reality is now. And in fact, what is this concept of time? Actually, God is showing it right in our face every day to us that time is not a reality, but we are living like a horse. Every night these days it is cloudy, but you look at the night sky and we see, okay, tonight I saw Dhruv Tara, the North Star, in that direction, and it is facing towards Shimla. And tonight I saw it. Do you know the light that you are seeing at this night, tonight, how long ago did it start from that star? No.
Some million.
It is 324 light years away. And what is a light year? The fastest thing known to man today is light, electricity traveling. Light traveling at the speed, it travels 326 meters per second or something like that. And it takes, how much distance it would have traveled in 1 year is 1 light year. So 324 light years away, the light from North Star started, and we are seeing it now. And I am saying now, it is now that I am seeing this. That star might not be there only. And imagine 324 years means when Kali Yuga ended and Dwapar started according to Sri Yukteswar. So, but we are accepting it to be reality. The sunlight, 8 minutes. 8 minutes it is taking for it reaching us. But we are oblivious. We see reality now. So therefore, rather than wasting time on all these things, we have to accept the present. The only reality is present, and in fact, the only reality in present is, can I change myself? Only. If we are going to waste now, present moment, to try and change others or situations in our life, we are again wasting time. Please, most of us do this mistake. I have to teach this person a lesson. I will change this person. He is my husband, wife, daughter, son, father, mother, you name it. I will help this person. No. You are responsible only for yourself. Please stop thinking that you are God or you are any of these masters. When you have become one with God, you will change everyone just by your presence. So do not waste your time and effort in trying to change others or situation. If and only if you can change yourself from reaction to response, you would have achieved everything. And examples are right in front of us. Swami Kriyananda started Ananda, and this was a community staying together, and there were people who were doing, this is what Jyotish ji himself said, that there were some people in the community who were doing something grossly wrong. In a sense, it was so apparent to everyone that this person needs to be told that you're doing something this wrong. And they knew that Swamiji is observing. First they kept quiet, that yes, Swamiji knows more. But few days had passed, he said nothing. So they said, maybe he is not come aware that this person is doing something wrong. So one of them went and suggested that this person is behaving like this. He says, yes, okay, I will look into it. But he said nothing to that person. 5 years, in certain cases, 5 years passed. And then he suggests, maybe you were doing this, maybe you can do this better this way. And at that moment, that person totally accepted it and changed in an instant. What was he doing? He was accepting the reality of that person at that moment. It is so easy to go and tell another person, you are wrong, you should not do it like this, you should do it like this. Where is that person ready to accept that reality? That is what a master does. And this is exactly what we need to understand. It is not our job to change people. Lahiri Masha ji had a disciple named Lakshman Ram, and this person was very devoted, very dedicated to the master. In fact, he used to be standing behind Lahiri Masha ji and using the fan, and people were coming to him in that foyer of his in Varanasi, receiving Kriya Diksha, going away, getting into ecstasy, samadhi, getting higher kriyas, becoming masters in their own right. But Lakshman Ram was just using a fan, doing little things for Lahiri Masha ji. He was not given kriya for 8 years. And he's seeing this, and he was there every day. People are coming, going, and talking about their experiencing that he's in ecstasy, and when they're talking, tears are flowing, and he's seeing. But he never ever once went to Lahiri Masha ji and said, give me kriya, give me kriya. And after 8 years, one day Lahiri Masha ji called him and he says, now come to me. And he gave him Diksha. And in his first kriya meditation, he went into ecstasy. He went into God consciousness because Lahiri Masha ji knew when he is ready for it. But the greatness of Lakshman Ram was, he did not question the master. He had complete faith in what God and Guru was giving to him, and he knew when the time is right, it will come to him. How many of us are like this? God is writing the script of each one of our lives. Like he said, 75% is our own karma. He is sending a thing to us, experience to us, so that we improve. But what most of us do? No, not like this. I need your blessings, but not like this, it should come like this. This person should not say to me it like this, he should say it to me like this. Are we trying to teach God? Please get it out of your mind. Remember, like we are searching for that God within us, which exists within all of us, it exists in the other person also who's coming and interacting with us. Rather than saying it is coming through this personality, my wife, my husband, rather than that, think it is God is coming through that person to change me. And change is, do not be disturbed by anything that person is saying. Or for that matter, anyone is doing anything. That is what Master said. The proof of a spiritual evolved person is he is not affected by what is happening to that person. And that is what we need to achieve. And in this year, he has beautifully analyzed the past. I would say only accept the present. And how to plan for future, Bharat ji will go about it and tell you. Thank you so much, ji. Om Guru.
Sorry, excuse me. So can you please repeat the sentence you said the man is given to us?
What Yogananda ji said was that the memory that has been given to us, and if we use this memory to remember wrong things that have happened to us. It is a misuse of the memory. Memory was not given to us to remember what wrong things have happened to us and waste our time and energy on that. It was only given to remember what has happened and what I need to learn from it and not repeat the mistake. That's all. Okay, Om Guru.
All right, well, welcome once again, and thank you both of you for this wonderful sharing. And you know what, as Naveen was speaking, it reminded me of a joke that I sort of remember, but it says, everybody wants to work with God, be with God, but mostly in an advisory position. And that's very true, isn't it? And yes, we talked about the past, a little bit the present, and the future now. And I can actually tell you about your future. I can tell about all of your futures, you know. And it is a wonderful future, because the destiny of every single one of us, every single one out there, every dog on the street, every cat, every tree, is that they came from God. That's our past. From joy I came. We live for God in whichever way, following nature's plan, not following nature's plan, learning from our mistakes, and then we merge back into God. So everything that you see around you, our destiny is to merge back into God, consciously. Because yes, we are already all one with God, we just don't know about it, which is the greatest mystery for me, that how can we forget about it and, you know, suffer through all these incarnations. But nevertheless, when we think about the future, we had to keep it always in context. That is our context. What actions I do today, what I learned from the past, how is it going to help me in my quest for God, into my conscious merging into the divine. Because this, what we are talking about now, is basically the Sankhya Yoga Vedanta philosophy. That yes, we need to look back into our lives. In fact, Master said to introspect every day, at the end of the day and see, you know, as we say, who won the Kauravas or the Pandavas. We need to learn, we need to know where we went wrong so that we don't repeat it. Then, but again, if we don't have the context of where are we heading, how do we know if we did right or wrong? You know, maybe you see like the Kauravas won, and you know they gave you a lot of sense, satisfaction and pleasure, and you know you fulfill so many desires, and you think, I guess it was a wonderful day, I should repeat that again. But if you have the context of, okay, I'm trying to find inner joy, I'm trying to find this fulfillment that my gurus have told me doesn't lie in sense pleasures and whatnot, then you get the right context. Okay, I don't need to repeat that. I actually need to change my strategy so I can go towards this higher awareness instead of lower awareness, right? So it is very important for us to keep that context. But the thing is that is very, very broad, isn't it? So like oneness with God, super conscious, whatever you want to call it, is very broad, very big. And so what do we do? So it's very good for us to kind of bring it down a little bit to where we are. I will repeat once again the quote that they both said by part, although Naveen did say it fully, but it's very important quote, since Swamiji said that Master mentioned it to be the most useful quote and maybe his favorite quote of all the autobiography of a yogi. Forget the past. The past life of all men are dark with many shames. Everything in future will improve if you make the right spiritual effort now. So it is all under our command. It is really, it's a wonderful thing actually, because we put ourselves in the mess, we can get ourselves out of the mess. It's not something that is not within our power, and especially because we are not alone. And that's the most important part we had to remember. Whatever we set ourselves out to do, we should never do it alone. We should always pray, we should always try to do it with the gurus, with God, in whichever way you want to see that divinity, that power gets added to your power, and then that you're also making sure you are going in the right direction, because again, that context is always important for us to have. Even when talking about our desires, as Naveen rightfully said, or Prem, Inder, or both of them, that oftentimes we think of the past and we start abasing yourself, bashing ourselves, oh my God, or we expect too much from ourselves. As he said, from 1st January, I'm a new person. How many times have we said, or from next week I'm a new person, or from tomorrow onwards I'm a new person. But oftentimes we really set unrealistic goals for ourselves. And a quote that Master said that I find very helpful when some monk was going through some troubles, he told him, I don't ask you to overcome your delusion. All I ask you is to resist it. That many a times we had to understand that we are not strong enough yet to overcome something that is very ingrained in ourselves. But we can resist and we can start channeling our energies in the right direction. Because the spiritual path, again, is not black and white. It's many different shades of all colors, really, right? But you can see it at this way. Most of the time, or many times, it happens that there is a scale, and let's say this is our material, this is my left, is your right, but it's my left. This is our material desires, and this is our spiritual aspirations. And many a times our material desires are just heavier than our spiritual aspirations. Welcome. And do we have a chair for him? And so most of our mind, most of our energy is always going towards that materialistic side. Our mind, our thoughts, everything is kind of going in there. But we still have this spiritual aspiration. A lot of resisting, a lot of just putting energy is so that the scales eventually turn, even if they turn slightly towards the spiritual side, that is a great victory. And then our job is to keep giving energy to that spiritual side, to those uplifting qualities, so that they take most of our energy. It doesn't mean that there is not a heavy weight here still. There is a heavy weight, but there is a heavier weight on the spiritual side. And that's why it's so important that we keep seeing our lives, our new year, our coming year, as a direction of energy. That, okay, my last year perhaps I was putting a lot of energy into these things. I'm going to put maybe less energy and a little more energy in this direction. And like that, you will always succeed in your new year. Because then you may say, I want to be able to do 50 push-ups every day, Okay, again, maybe you do 10 push-ups for the year, and it's the right direction that you're going. Maybe you cannot meditate for 3 hours every day, but you can increase your meditation time by half an hour every day. And it doesn't have to be from 1st January. You can plan it so that by April, let's say, you have increased your meditation time. You have to really work with yourself and set very good directions that you feel are right for you and that you feel Divine Mother, Guru wants you to go towards it. And the beautiful thing is that really almost anything that we do in order to improve ourselves can help us spiritually. For example, we know some friend from Pune who was suffering with some pre-diabetes and maybe a little overweight, and started walking every day for like an hour. And her physique changed quite a bit, and she was feeling more energetic, more alive. That helped her in her spiritual life as well. You see? It was not that she was trying to do it just to lose weight, to look nice, and to attract some men or whatever it may be. She was doing it because she understood that her energy depended on it, and that energy could be used for her spiritual quest. Or, if, okay, maybe the quest for God is too much, at least for something more meaningful. Something that will make your energy more uplifting, that will make you something creative, something that will inspire you. Because we need more and more to put energy into those things that inspire us. All right? So now that you all have your paper, some of you have already filled your paper mostly, but let's just take a paper and let's do what Master said in this note, he told us to just close your eyes and think for a moment. Yes, we are going to go in the past. And yes, it is not bad to go to the times that we suffer, as long as we do, like Naveen said, and not dwell on the suffering, but try to see what was the cause of the suffering so we can stop doing that. So maybe you can think back of something, close your eyes, and before you think of anything, actually concentrate at the point between the eyebrows and ask God, Guru, Divine Mother to guide you into this very brief exercise, to guide your thoughts, to guide your mind in the right way that will be helpful for your upcoming spiritual new year. And ask Divine Mother, where do you want me to put my attention? Please remind me of something that I did this year that brought me suffering, that I need to improve upon. And most importantly now, bring to my awareness those times in which I was feeling the greater joy, that I was feeling uplifted, that I was feeling closer to you. So take a moment and think about that. And most importantly, bring that feeling into your heart. When did you feel closest to Divine Mother? And what brought you that closeness? And you can open your eyes and take a little time to just write down these two things. And we may need a couple more papers over there. Some are new pens, so you may have to remove the little ball. Maybe some of you can use this if you want a little something for helping you write, to write.
Sir, the first question was the reason for regret that we have, and the second question was?
Not reason for regret, but maybe if you found that you were suffering at some point, or I guess regret could also be a little bit, what was the root cause of that? And for what could we avoid in the new year? And then the second one is, what are those things that brought you greater closeness to God, inspiration? Okay, everybody's basically done. You don't have to write in too much detail. You can just write a few keywords, and then you can also do it later at home a little more. Then think. Again, close your eyes. Concentrate at the point between the eyebrows. And maybe see yourself, what do you want to become? Who do you want to become? Especially in relationship to your spiritual growth. How do you see yourself? And maybe you can start thinking of a couple of steps that you feel you can take towards that higher self of yours. And there's nothing wrong of thinking of something even on the physical plane, because again, for example, if you decide that chanting and learning harmonium will be something good for you, or that yes, even exercising and doing something like that will be good for you, that is fine. But will this help you in your spiritual quest? And you can think of something quote unquote mundane like that, but also think of yourself of a spiritual goal for this new year. If you are not regular in your meditation, maybe that could be a good goal, to be regular in your meditation. If you are already regular in your meditation, what can you do to deepen your meditation? Or to be in satsang? Or to do any other thing really? You and Divine Mother know best what may be. So you can write a couple short goals or directions where you want to put your energy towards in your sheet. And sometimes it may be something psychological, like, as Naveen said, anger, or Prem said anger, or jealousy, or impatience, or being emotional. That's fine. It is good for us also to think of what we want to overcome in this new year. But again, don't try to take the biggest of them right now. Take something smaller first that can give you strength to then take into something bigger. Remember that nothing just happens from one day to the next. It's very unlikely. So small victories can help you gather your strength for bigger victories. Okay, and now close your eyes again. And as we said, the most important part is the now. What can I do now? So you have your, maybe some things that you remember that were not good for you, that you need to overcome. Some things that you remember were good for you. Some goals for you to either let go of a few things or to develop new talents. What can I do today, from today onwards, or from tomorrow onwards, or from 1st January onwards, that will help me cement these attitudes, these new whatever I want to do? For example, remember, as I say, it's all about our energy and putting energy in the right place. So, if you are thinking of a psychological trait like anger or sorrow, how can I practice the opposite of it? So in anger, maybe how can I be kinder to people, more patient towards people? What is something that I can do, maybe in a weekly basis, even if not on a daily basis, a couple times a week? That is my time to only practice kindness, to only practice patience. And even if you don't tell anyone, for example, you can have one day of the week that whatever people do, you are not getting patient, you will not get angry. Or that day of the week that if you want to practice willingness, that day of the week, whatever people ask you, you will say yes. But you don't tell them this, so they don't take advantage of you. But anything like that you can feel, that you can put a positive effort. Of course, if it's something on the physical plane, like let's say exercise, just because it's a simple one, what can I do on a weekly basis to get the energy towards the betterment of the physical body going? Again, maybe just on Tuesday and Fridays, I can go for a walk. And then later in the year, I will revise and try to see if I can do more. And of course, more importantly, on my spiritual goal, what step can I take now that I can go closer to that spiritual goal? Maybe starting to wake up a little earlier, even if it's only 10 minutes earlier. Maybe it is coming to the group meditations that will help me push myself once a week. Maybe it is attending the satsang in person for some of you who may be online once a month. Maybe it is doing more reading before going to bed. Whatever it is, make sure that your spiritual goal, you have some practical step that you can take right now to push your energy in that direction. And remember, we are not compartmentalized in our lives. Whatever we do in one way will affect everything else. So see everything as a unity. That know that if you put good effort, good energy, going in one direction, it will help your other ones as well. That's why it is good for us to focus on one or two things maximum, because any good effort we put, any energy we go to give to our positive qualities will diminish the energy or negative qualities will take from us. But we want to focus on the positive, on what can I do now to change my energy. So just take a last moment to write something down. Do we have one more paper, Shami? Do you need them?
Yeah.
Thank you. In the room there. And finally, as we conclude this little exercise, you can write in your paper a little prayer to God and Gurus, to Divine Mother, or an affirmation to help you in this new year, to help you in whatever your goal is, and to help you feel their presence more. A prayer that this new year, maybe even though things maybe go outwardly bad, that inwardly we feel closer to them. That no matter what comes in the new year, our love for God, our devotion, will only increase. Like a rasgulla that whenever you press it only releases sweet juice. And after you finish writing, just take a couple moments in silence, concentrated at a point between the eyebrows, and offer this prayer to Divine Mother and ask for her blessings in your journey.